Yorkshire Bank 40 holders Hampshire put one foot into this year's semi-finals by beating Surrey by 3 wickets with 8 balls remaining, thanks to a well-controlled half-century from Sean Irvine at the Ageas Bowl. Put in, Surrey made a poor start. In the third over, Stephen Davis nicked Sahel Tanvir behind after making 6 of the opening stand of 20. Jason Roy got the rest of those runs. He raced to 21 in the first 6 overs before he sliced a drive off Dimitri Mascarenhas to Jimmy Adams at point. Vikram Solanki then sold Xander de Brain short, calling for a run which wasn't there to have his partner run out by Adams for a single. And when Solanki then edged Mascarenhas behind for 5, Surrey were left on 39 for 4 after 10 overs. Gary Wilson and Rory Burns led a recovery of sorts by adding an important 40 runs in the next 9 overs. Wilson, the 5th man out, with a top-edged pull off Irvine, which ended in the hands of Mascarenhas at long leg. So it was left to 2 youngsters in Burns, who here struck the first 6 of the match off Liam Dawson, and Zafar Ansari to try to set up a decent total. Having put on 66 in 11 overs for the 6th wicket, Burns was out 1 short of his half-century when he was bowled around his legs by Danny Briggs to celebrate his new contract at the club. Ansari went on to record his best ever List A score. He brought up the 150 in the 32nd over with a beautifully struck 6 off Dawson. A bowler he really went after when the spinner switched ends. Knowing that his side needed plenty more runs in the last half a dozen overs, Ansari played some delightful strokes, using the full face of his bat and playing straight for his runs. A third delicious 4 off 3 balls took Ansari to his second one-day half-century. He'd needed only 48 balls for it in an innings which was at odds with much of what had come before it. With 5 overs remaining, he'd now helped his side to a much more respectable 184 for 6. He was finally out for career best 62, deceived by Sahel Tanvir's slower ball, which he chipped to Adams to leave with his side on 198 for 7 with 3 overs left. In the next one, Tim Linley, who'd supported Ansari well, was caught at mid-off off Chris Wood for 15. The last over saw Chris Tremlett clear the ropes off Wood with a shot he made look rather easy. He also struck the next ball for 4 before he squirmed the next one to Briggs, as Surrey ended their 40 overs on 219 for 9. Not a bad effort given their early loss of wickets. Hampshire have relied on their opening pair of James Vince and Michael Carberry in one-day games this year, but both were out quickly here. Carberry was taken behind down the leg side off Tremlett's third ball, while Vince was sensationally held very low down by John Lewis off his own bowling to the 8th ball of the reply, which left the Royals on 4 for 2. So an early rebuilding job was required from Adams and Neil Mackenzie. They batted with due care and attention initially, taking the total to just 33 for 2 off the opening 10 overs, but then they both began to express themselves a little more as they posted a stand of 55 in 14 overs to at least open up this game between 2 sides who will meet again in the T20 semi-final at the weekend. Adams had made 30 from 46 balls when he gave Davis a second catch, this time off Tom Curran. And Mackenzie followed in Curran's next over as he was bowled by a good one for 22 at 64 for 4, Hampshire back in a bit of bother. Indeed, Surrey would have fancied their chances from here until Dawson provided the innings that his side needed. He struck an early maximum off Tremlett as he launched a counter-attack. This is one of the strengths of this Hampshire side. They always seem to find someone to do the job for them if there are problems early on. Not that that's happened too many times in the one-day arena this summer. Dawson provided the impetus on this occasion as he raced to 40 off 31 balls, made in a stand of 64 in 9 overs with Irvine. But Surrey were back in the mix when De Brain bowled Dawson at 128 for 5 after the batsman had 1 swing too many, before Adam Wheater was run out trying to get off the mark first ball, with Ansari continuing his excellent game with the powerful and accurate throw which hit the stumps directly. So now it was anybody's game again, but Hampshire have got used to winning matches from all sorts of positions, and Irvine and Mascarenhas were able to find a boundary every time they looked as if they were falling behind the rate. It was a perfectly judged partnership from these two very experienced all-rounders, who took the runs required down to 35 off the last 5 overs. Irvine had passed a pleasing 50 off 53 balls by then, getting there with his 7th 4, a crunching shot off Lewis. Irvine remained calm in the knowledge that his side have won plenty of matches over the last few seasons from such positions. Mascarenas helped himself to a runner ball 31, but he was out trying to hit Lindley over the top off a low full toss, only to be held on the boundary's edge by Ansari. He left with 21 needed from the last 3 overs. In the end, it wasn't as close as many would have expected. Wood struck a couple of lusty blows as 9 came off over number 38, and then 9 more were added off the first 3 balls of the 39th. The win was completed with 8 balls remaining with 3-leg byes, with Irvine ending on a runner ball 65. It was the 8th time in 10 games that the home side had done the job they were asked to do to confirm themselves as the form one-day side in this country, a title they can really claim to have had for a few seasons now. They're still in with a shout of defending both the T20 and 40-over titles they won last season. Having been on 68 for 4 at the halfway stage of this chase, they knocked off 152 in the next 18.5 overs. 1 win from their last 2 matches against second-place Lancashire in Manchester next Tuesday or at Derbyshire on Bank Holiday Monday will earn Hampshire yet another semi-final place, and you wouldn't want to have a bet that they won't do that.